How can they think that's acceptable? You see, they've just pulled down some statue from 1700, 300 years old. Who gives a shit what it's about or what the man done? It's part of British history. What are you going to start with next? Churchill said this, that's what... Next, if this isn't stopped next Saturday, they'll be ripping Churchill's statue down. Then it'll be William Gladstone's statue. Because he said Islam in a man... He held a Quran above his head and he made bigoted comments about Islam. Then they'll pull his statue down. You know what, you scumbag protesters? You want to pull a statue down? Start with the BBC. It's a paedophile who created a sculpture of a naked boy being held by a man. How come you don't rip that down? Because most of you fucking sympathise with it. So how anyone is so... I'll just sit there watching it just thinking, what is going on? What's happening? This protest today, you know, Anthony Joshua, you got anything to say about this shit? Hey? You got anything to say about what they've done to Churchill's statue? Or you think he's a racist as well, do you? Hey? What about Little Mix? You were there, weren't you? Hey? Will you support the defacing of our Churchill statue, do you? Every one of you fucking celebrities. All jumping on your little virtue signalling bandwagon. Bullshit. Every one of you just wanting to show yourselves with a little BLM sign whilst you're defacing. Every one of you has organised that. Everyone who's encouraged that supports that shit. Why ain't you down there cleaning it up? Oh, I bet we don't see none of you celebrities down there getting that shit off of those statues. That man died fighting the biggest racists in our history. That man led our country through that fucking war. How many people sacrificed their lives in that war? And you just turn up and think you can deface it. You spoiled, virtue signalling little shits. Oh, man. So, how many people are going to London next Saturday? Every single man should be in London next Saturday. Or forever, don't call yourself a patriot. Don't call yourself a patriot. It's no good sitting behind your keyboard where all these scumbags, masked up scumbags, think they're going to go rip Churchill's statue down, because they're not. And Metropolitan Police, you're fucked up big time with this one, because next Saturday, watch what you're going to have in London. You're going to have fucking thousands of men who ain't going to let to watch because you're too soft-handed. Because they're not fucking white, basically. You daren't enforce the law because there's too many people who aren't white. And you don't know what to do you? You don't even draw your batons. You don't put your riot gear on. You let your officers get clapped from the side. You're watching police officers get sideswiped and punched and kicked all over the floor. And you don't enforce the law. Why not? What's your problem? Oh, man, I'm just watching it and I'm getting so fucking angry. Just thinking, how the fuck can you let that happen in our capital city? How can you move? It's not that you let it happen. You purposely let it happen. You moved the men out of the way that were there to protect that statue. And you made sure that those people could come and vandalise it. Piers Morgan, any celebrity who has supported this bullshit, those 27 injured police officers, it's on your hands, okay? I think 70% of people killed in police custody in the United States are white. You talk about white privilege. 600,000 crimes were committed in the United States last year by black people against white people. 60,000 crimes were committed by white people against black people. Don't bring this bullshit politics to our country, because we haven't got it. That racial tensions that they might have in the United States, we don't have based on race. Race politics, which BLM... You've done more to break down race fucking integration in this country than anyone's tried to do. Much more than the National Front ever done. Look what you've done. Look what you're doing. The divide that you're about to create in this country is fucking going to be unrecognisable. And you've done it. They've been allowed to do it. It's funded by all these far-left organisations. Antifa. And they're supported by politicians. The Labour Party supported that today. The Labour Party. How fucking weak. Anyway, next Saturday, I'll see you all in London. Because my blood pressure's about to go. I can't believe what's come of our country. And that statue like you did in Bristol today, and there's not going to be a British public there to confront you about it. You're wrong. You watch next Saturday how many people turn up.
How many black people are in the current cabinet?
There's a whole series of people from a black and minority ethnic background. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, the Home Secretary, to name but two.
I'm just talking about blacks.
Actually...
Sorry, I'm talking about black people specifically because I do think it's quite important not to lump everyone from non-white backgrounds together, because obviously Asian people, for example, face prejudice too, but it might be a different prejudice to that faced by black people. 62%, for example, of GCSE pupils from Indian backgrounds got a strong pass in English and maths. 27% to black Caribbean. You're 3 times as likely to be stopped and searched if you're black than if you're Asian. So that's why I was specifically asking about how many black people there are in the current cabinet.
The two cabinets I've sat in with Boris Johnson as Prime Minister are the 2 most diverse cabinets I've ever sat in. You know, right at the top of government, including in the great offices of state, people from black and minority ethnic backgrounds. Kwasi Kwarteng was sitting around the cabinet table with me. Actually, I think that Boris Johnson has got a very good record on this, and it brings people in and listens to a diversity of views, and it's diversity of thought that's the really important thing when you're taking those big decisions around the cabinet table.
So actually, are you saying then that people from black backgrounds shouldn't really worry that there isn't a single person from a black background at the current cabinet table because you have diversity of thought?